Welcome to Tala Talks, where I share my everyday thoughts and everyday experiences. In today's video, I'm so excited to go through a condominium that I recently just visited, and I thought it was really important for me to make this video while all the memories and information are still fresh. So I'm gonna go through what it's like to buy a condominium here in Manila, things you should know, things you should ask, what to expect. And I'm gonna walk you through a virtual tour, so I can't wait. I hope this video will be useful. Whether you're planning to buy, whether you're planning to rent, I think you can get a lot of good information from this video. Hello viewers, please click thanks just below the video you are enjoying. You can customize your message, and according to YouTube, I only get 70% of your donation, 99 Filipino pesos, just below $2. So the higher we go, the more I would really appreciate it. Any donation would be so helpful. Thank you again. I also know a lot of my viewers are coming from different countries, and so I've prepared a special information of the average cost that it would take for you to buy a condominium of the same size and the same features. So this one that we're looking at is fully furnished. So I've checked my analytics, and thank you so much to my viewers from the US, from Canada, Australia, the UK, and many more. I'm sorry if I didn't mention the country, but I will be putting down the conversion rate later on of the average price that you would buy something similar in your own home and compare that to what you would find here. And I think you might find this interesting because you'll see that maybe your money will go either a lot further out in the Philippines, or you might also say that, you know, everything's subjective. Yes, it could be cheaper here, however, you might not get the same kind of lifestyle. So you make your own judgments, you make your own decisions, but I'm just here to show you what it looks like. I can't wait. This is a 4.8 million Filipino peso listing. It's a condominium, it's a studio type. It is right in the heart of Quezon City. It's important to note that the area surrounding the condominium that we're looking at has a hospital, a very well-known hospital called St. Luke's Hospital. There are many colleges and schools. There's so many restaurants too. So if you do plan to buy a condominium in this particular area, I'm sorry if you hear kids screaming. There's a lot of kiddos enjoying the pool there. Why not? It's a nice day anyway. It just recently rained, but it stopped. So now everyone's back out. So this surrounding area will have, if you plan to buy a condominium here, your tenants will most likely be either doctors, students. There are so many colleges here as well, and basically people in the medical field who need to work long hours, so nurses and people of the same field. So I think that it might be a good investment. I'll make another video of the pros and cons of buying a condominium, particularly in Quezon City here in Manila, because the crowd here will be quite different from those located further south, which is Makati, BGC. I'll do a separate video for that because it can get a little tedious. But for today, I'm really excited to give you a virtual tour. So nonetheless, let's begin. I chose this particular condominium because I can very much relate to it. Particularly, it's fully furnished, and for a person like myself who does a lot of traveling, I don't really want to think about buying a bed, buying a mattress, sourcing chairs, tables. So I thought that this would be good to feature if you are the type also that wants everything laid out and you don't have to think about anything. There's a TV, they've set up the bathroom for you, all the toiletries are there, there's a microwave, there's a fridge. So I thought that this would be a great start off for you to see what it's like buying a studio type condominium, particularly here in Quezon City. Walking towards the condominium, definitely it was a busy morning. There's a lot of obviously vehicles and people walking by. It is right in front of a Jollibee. And if you are hoping to get here using the metro or the train, unfortunately, you will not be able to. You would have to commute basically. Once upon a time, this area actually was all low rise. It was full of townhomes, but then obviously in time everyone's trying to maximize the area, the space of whatever little space we have left in Quezon City. So high rises started to get built, and this one is definitely one of them. Let's go in. The first thing I noticed when I walked inside, the AC was nice and cool. If you're coming from a cold country, I think this might be the last thing you'd be worried about, but I don't know if you can see, I'm already starting to break a sweat. It is quite humid. So the AC was a nice break from the heat and the humidity outside. So as we go inside, on our right side, you actually have a mail section. So if you're expecting, I don't know, it kind of seems, for me, it's like mail, like everyone just sends a message on the internet, on social media apps, everyone just gives a call, a video call. So to see a mailbox bit was kind of, I don't know, nostalgic for me. It kind of looked like a bank, to be honest, but whatever it is, it looked good. And so as we move forward, obviously initially there's a reception there, but if you keep walking straight ahead, you will notice 4 elevators. And with these 4 elevators, what I like about our floor is, I'm not mistaken, we are located, I think we were located on the 37th floor. So what's nice about this particular elevator is that it only serves people located on the 35th floor and above. And if you see the rest of the elevators, one of them is for service only. So it's particularly to move utilities, and the other 2 are servicing the lower ground, the lower floors. So that's 34 and below. So those elevators can get very busy because there's much more floors to service, whilst this particular elevator was only for us. And yeah, as soon as we pressed the button, it was quick. If you are familiar with living in a condominium, you would probably know that waiting for the elevator can sometimes take a long time. So that's one of the things that you might want to look out for, especially if you want to get to your home much quicker. You want to pay attention to the details like the elevator. Is it quick enough to arrive as soon as you press the button? If you've made it this far in the video, I would love to extend my gratitude and thank all of you for sticking around with me. I really hope all my videos have been fun, exciting, and I hope you've gained something positive from it. I'd also like to invite you to join my membership for as low as 99 Filipino peso or around $150 US. Any help I can get would be very much appreciated. That'll go to my basic necessities like food, transportation. The link will be right on the description box below. I will definitely notice your name, and again, thank you so much in advance. Let's continue back to this video. Here's the very interesting part. As soon as we got to our floor, I noticed that there was a business in one of the units. Apparently, my floor allows people to live there residentially, or you can also have a company. So that's, I think if you know anything about the Philippines, it just really depends on the building. Some buildings are meant for residential only, but other buildings will allow you to have your business there, like dentistry, a law firm. Yeah, that's quite interesting. So it's something to ask as well if you're planning to buy a condo. Maybe you want to diversify later down the future, or if you want to have it rented out. It's good to know those details so that you're not just stuck in a residential kind of setting. You can also diversify into a business later down the future, or you can also live where you work. It's not the most ideal or healthy environment to live where you work, but it could work for some people who don't like commuting, who just want to wake up and go straight to office. So that makes sense. Of course, I won't waste your time. How much does it cost? Everyone wants to know. This is a 4.8 million condo. It's a studio type. It's 25 square meters big, and when you enter, the lady who showed me, she was very nice enough to already turn on the AC. So again, initially I felt home instantly. There is a fridge there. You've got other amenities like microwave. The bed was all set. There was a TV. There was obviously the AC because it was on. One thing I did notice though, there wasn't any exhaust. So if you plan to do some cooking, you might have to install it. I'm not sure about the technical part, but you can also open the window and all the air will go there. Maybe put a fan. Also, there is an exhaust in the toilet. So I don't know if that's gonna make sense for you if you're cooking. Otherwise, she did mention there are just too many restaurants around the area, so a lot of people who live here either don't have the time to cook or they just buy food because it's just all around. There are so many supermarkets close by as well. So if you're wanting to eat healthy and not necessarily go for takeaway, because takeaways can have a lot of salt and sugar and it could be oily as well, you could just go ahead and buy your veg and fresh produce from the supermarket just next door. We are taking a quick break from today's video. I am beyond excited that you're here, and I wanted to take this moment to thank you so much for your support. For those who have sent a thank you, a donation, or who have messaged me directly for donations, thank you so much from my heart to yours. I am beyond appreciative. I am beyond grateful. It motivates me and inspires me to continue this channel, to send nothing but good vibes and more information that would be hopefully useful and or entertaining as well. If you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed creating it, please feel free to send a thank you. This is how to do it. It's very easy. Though should I mention, YouTube does get 30% of that, and what's left there are tax deductions. Feel free to send a thank you. If you would also like to go direct, this is my email address. Please feel free to send me an email. I'm also on Instagram. You can DM me directly. I will respond. PayPal is also available if you do find it more convenient. If you would like to use a Wise transfer, this is the QR code which you can scan with your phone provided that you have internet. Otherwise, this is my username. Hopefully you'd be able to find me on Wise. I am also on Gcash. Alternatively, this is my Gcash QR code. You would have to open your Gcash app first and then use the app to scan the QR code. I am also very thrilled to mention that I have a membership which you can join, and if you'd like to have a quick chat, ask me questions about anything, I would love to really help you out. And don't forget to join the membership. That would unlock the social media access. When you do join the membership, I am offering a special behind the scenes experience that I don't share anywhere else. I'll take you along with me behind the scenes so you'll know what's going on behind the camera, which is quite exciting. There may be some bloopers and hiccups along the way, but I'd be happy to share that with you. You'll even have the power to choose the next topics for the following videos. Feedback for me is so important, and I would love to know what you would like to see next. You'll have the power to design the next videos that'll be coming out. Help me choose topics, issues, challenges that you might be facing in the Philippines. I would love to tackle all of those topics. You will also be receiving exclusive updates just for you as a member. You can click on the membership link that is located on the description box, and this can be renewed every month. Again, I want to say how much I appreciate you. If my videos inspired you, made you smile, or given you a little escape, I'd love for you to be part of this next chapter. Thank you for being such an incredible part of my life. From my world to yours, with all my love and gratitude, thank you. It also included a queen-size bed, a dining set. I did mention a fridge, a microwave. It's got some furniture, the AC was there, water heater, and a TV. I did ask if there is parking. So this unit was bought with no parking. However, I spoke to the admin later on, and the admin said that there are other units having parking lots rented out. So that could be an option for you. Also, she did mention that there is parking right across, which is the supermarket, Walter Mart. So if you plan to park during the day, it's free. It's free parking from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And guess what? If you plan to overnight, let me show you. It's just right outside the window. There's a guest parking in front of Walter Mart. Oh, it's called De Los Santos Hospital. And if you are familiar with parking in any parts of the world, overnight parking is so expensive. This one is only 100 Filipino peso. In US dollar, it's just below $2 to park overnight. It's just, I mean, I shouldn't be saying this because everyone might start parking there, but just FYI, if you do have guests who have vehicles, they can park there. So that's incredible. I think this might even come out cheaper than having to rent a parking lot from one of the tenants. Another thing to ask is association dues. So maybe you're unfamiliar with buying a condo, you might think that's just the price, but every month there will be an association dues to pay. And this one particularly, as of this year, is 2,225 pesos monthly. That includes the maintenance, just everything it takes to maintain the building. Of course, your water bill and your electric bill will be separate. I would say 100% of the times that I do visit a condo, there is normally a telephone by the door, and that's usually an intercom to page the guard. So if you have a visitor, they'll call you. If you also need anything, let's say your light broke or you have some plumbing to do, there is a maintenance in the building that's mandatory for every condominium as of my knowledge. Again, I'm not an expert in the real estate field, but I am very fascinated and interested in these sort of things. So I am here to share the good news with you, the good and the bad, of course, the good and the challenging. But with this particular unit, there was a telephone next to the door. So anything you need, if there's a visitor or stuff that needs to get done with the lights, the water or whatnot, you can give the guard a call and the guard will, I think you can also call the admin directly from this telephone. Of course, another thing to ask is, are there any issues with the title or the contract that's going to be transferred to you? In my case, yeah, I think it's really important for you to ask, because a lot of the times, I'll give you a true story. One of the units where I was living at for some time, apparently, it's been abandoned for the longest time, and the story behind that is 2 buyers bought the unit and the silly seller actually took both of the cash from these 2 different buyers, and there was just a major dispute. The seller had vanished, and so geez, it went crazy. I don't really know the full story, but that's basically what happened. So you want to make sure, aside from the seller telling you, giving you your peace of mind, if there aren't any issues, you might want to go ahead to the municipal hall, go to the barangay, maybe even ask the admin. Just do your due diligence to make sure that everything will be transferred to you nice and smoothly. They call it, if there are any encumbrances. Oh my goodness, I feel like such a beginner at this. But yeah, normally behind the title, if there are any issues, you'll see something written there. So it's best to see the certified true copy. Okay, I'm not gonna get too detailed because again, I am not a real estate lawyer, or I'm not a professional in this field, but yeah, that's definitely one thing to ask the owners. And so in our situation, there aren't any issues, except for that it hasn't been fully paid. There's about 500,000 Filipino pesos yet that needs to be paid for. And so she mentioned, the nice lady who showed me around, she mentioned that when we pay the 4.8 million Filipino peso, the 500,000 pesos that need to be paid will be deducted from that. So essentially, yeah, that's the situation. It's not fully paid yet, but they do want to get rid of the condo, or they want to sell it. Oh, I think this is very important, especially myself being a Filipino. Find out who the developer is, and I think it's really good to know who the developers are, because you will see a common pattern with all the other buildings. If it's properly maintained, does it look good inside? I mean, if you stick around with me, and I hope you do, I'll be featuring another condo that I was looking at, and unbelievable, there were just so many maintenance. There was just so many features in the building that needed love and care. It's been neglected, and I think it's important for me to show you this because it's reality. Not all the time that you visit a condo it's gonna look immaculate and perfect and beautiful. I will show you the harsh realities of other situations. So in this case right now, we're actually quite lucky. Yeah, so far so good. Everything looked properly maintained, because there will be wear and tears, just like any other condo, home, or establishment. Taking a quick break from today's episode because I have something special just for you. I am offering a special customized service on your next travel or visit to the Philippines. If you're looking to retire, travel, visit, or live in the Philippines, and you're serious about finding the perfect place to stay, click join now and be part of my membership. As soon as you sign up, YouTube will notify me and you'll get access to all exclusive content. Plus, you can directly reach out to me via DM on Instagram. You can also send me an email. Once you're a member, feel free to ask me anything, and I would love to help you out. If you're navigating where to stay, what to do, how to get around, you'll get live updates and videos, which will give your trip to the Philippines as smooth and pleasant as possible. From booking your ideal accommodations to helping you navigate, you'll have complete exclusive access. I only accept 2 persons every month, so be one of the first ones to sign up this month. Again, you can reach out on Instagram or send me an email. The links are also all on the description box below. And let's begin your travel adventure to the Philippines. Okay, I'm super excited for the next part. Let's go ahead and walk to the swimming pool, and then I'm gonna show you the gym. And believe it or not, there's also like a jogging pathway, so that kind of reminds me of Singapore, where there's just so much concrete. The concrete jungle is alive and kicking in Singapore. And so actually no, I beg to differ. There is a lot of buildings there, but the parks in Singapore are so beautiful. But particularly here in the Philippines, in Manila, it's quite nice to see that they were able to create they were able to create a jogging path. So let's go ahead and go to the swimming pool. Now, as soon as you exit the elevator, I thought like, what, is this the pool? Because we were directed to a parking lot. But yeah, if you keep walking straight, that's gonna lead you to the pool side. And so the first thing you see, aside from the beautiful blueness, just like what we have behind us, so pretty to look at, you know, off topic, nature and water, and it's just like the frequency, the vibration is so high, it's really good for your soul. So I miss living in the province. But going back to the video, you'll see the pool right ahead, and then you'll look around up in the sky. It is definitely a skyscraper. You'll see all the 3 condominiums that were built side by side. So yeah, there's no shortage of buildings. You're swimming there, but you're also looking, it's kind of like you're a little fish in an anemone of concrete buildings. So yeah, you have all the 3 buildings surrounding you. And if you keep walking straight, you'll also notice that there's the jogging path over there. So it's quite nice that they have that. There's also a playground for kids, so that's quite nice. I mean, you can also play in the playground even if you're an adult. It's just a nice place to be able to relax and chill out, especially if you're living in a studio type and you want to just get out of your little box. You know, it's good to have that outdoor space. So that's definitely a bonus. And then if you keep walking, we'll end up in the gym. Now, for the gym, some condominiums will have the AC on because you are paying an association due. So that's supposedly for, you know, if you want to turn on the AC or whatnot. But this one, the AC was off. Maybe other people don't like working out with the AC. There's also another kiddie section initially before the gym, so that was there if you have very, very small kiddos. And yeah, the gym they had new equipment. The lady who showed me also said that they had recently extended the gym, so that's quite nice. At least we know that the company, the developer, is doing something to improve that floor. So at least we know that there's progress and they're continuing to make things better. And aside from the gym, of course, you'll have toilets, you'll have showers. Take a look at the rules and regulations for the pool. I'll just be flashing everything here so you can see. Yeah, there are certain hours that the pool is available for usage. There are also certain hours that the gym is available. In one of the condos I visited, they open the pool and the gym at 6 a.m. This one at least opens at 4 if I'm not mistaken. So that's quite nice, especially those people who are joining the 5 a.m. club like your girl. Sometimes I'm not religious at it, but like I do my best to wake up really early because you get a lot more done in the day. And so yeah, this particular developer or this particular management, they do open the gym and the pool early. So that's a big thumbs up. Unfortunately, I don't have the details for this part, but I was wanting to know what is the appreciation price. So say, for example, they had bought it 10 years ago. How much was that condo worth and what is it worth 5 years later and today 10 years later? So it's good to know that your money is appreciating over time, because when you do plan, if you do plan to sell it, it's good to know that you would have made some money or a lot of money from that. Also, one of the things I was a little bummed at, because your girl travels a lot and while I'm gone, I would like the place to be rented out. So I was sad to hear that they don't allow Airbnbs. Oh, so that's already gone. It's also good to really ask the admin or the rules for this condo, because you might think or you might be planning so many things and you'll find out later on that you're actually not allowed to. So that's a big bummer. And also, if you're planning to, so since you are the landlord, you own that condo, also do ask how long your tenants are allowed to stay minimum, because I would normally allow 6 months, 3 months. If I did have a place, I'm not a landlord yet, hopefully, fingers crossed. But this particular condo has a minimum of 1 year. So take note, if you plan to buy condos, you might be wanting it to be rented out short term. With short terms, you end up earning much more. But this one has a minimum of 1 year for one tenant. So that's a bit tricky if you think it is, if you're planning to have short-term, if you're planning to have a short-term lease contract. Here's the interesting part. What happens to your garbage? So every day from 8 to 9 a.m. So there's, okay, where do I start? I wouldn't say there's an issue with pest control, but because this is the situation, this could potentially lead to a pest issue, like cockroaches and other insects. But so it's 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. you can leave your garbage just outside the door and somebody's meant to get it. And same thing for lunchtime, and also same thing for dinner time. My comment there is that why can't there just be a designated trash area and we can just put all our trash there and we don't have to worry about maintenance getting it. We also don't have to worry about pests going through the trash, like little critters. And it also looks much neater along the hallways. So maybe that's something they can improve. I do also want to acknowledge maybe those people, some people living in the condos might have handicap challenges. Maybe they can't leave their unit all the time, so maybe that can be a special case. But for majority of the people who are able and willing to do, I think it's a much more organized way of sorting out the trash. But in this particular area, that's the arrangement. It's 3 times a day you can leave your trash out the door. And also, speaking of pests, I might as well say this, they do have a pest control. I don't know if it's every month or every other month, and so I was told that she was able to get a 200 Filipino peso, so that's just below $4 to have the place fumigated. Though I do know if you are having the place fumigated, you know, those chemicals still, you're inhaling that. So something to consider if you like the au naturel air. Living in a condominium, there might be some pest control and you might want to find out when they're gonna do that. So if you want to leave the building during that time so you don't inhale it, yeah, that's something for you to think about. So this is very rare, but I did forget to mention that over at the gym they have free Wi-Fi. That's kind of cool. So all you have to do is scan the QR code and your Wi-Fi will pop out. I was doubting it. I didn't think that it would work, but we actually both tried it, and yeah, the Wi-Fi works. So if you want to put on your Spotify playlist, if you didn't download any of that, you could do that. You could watch a YouTube video while you're working out. So I think that's a very nice special feature that this particular condo offers. Okay, I'm gonna get to some of the interesting bits before I forget. I think, okay, you're living in a studio, right? Say you buy this condo. You are only allowed to have 2 guests who are non-registered in the initial contract. So that's why I'm saying this now. If you plan to buy, make sure you register all the names of your family, register possibly your friends, so that they can get in for free. If you have guests that aren't registered, they will have to pay an additional 200 Filipino peso per person, and I think they only allow 2 additional people. So 200 Filipino peso is just under $4. Yeah, so that's a bit interesting. It's kind of like going to a resort and having to pay to use the amenities. But it's something for you to ask. It's something for you to ask how many guests are allowed. How many friends are allowed at a time? Are they allowed to use the pool, the gym, things like that? So as I've mentioned earlier in the video, this condo was bought for the lady who was doing her medical schooling next door, but she ended up going home because she got really lonely. She would work long hours, and she just ended up not using this unit. And so it's basically practically brand new. No one's lived in it. My next question was, are there any issues with plumbing, electricity, the structure? I think that's really important for you to ask. And so because it's not been lived in, nobody really knows, though I did notice some cracks on the wall. And if you know anything about the Philippines, there are earthquakes here, and not to jinx anything, but it's really good to make sure that your structure or your building is well built and that they didn't stinge on construction. And it's really important to ask those questions because you never know if there's issues with your water, your plumbing, and whatnot. So if you know anything about me, I love dogs. I love animals in general. And unfortunately, this building does not allow pets. So that's something for you to ask as well. If you can have a furry little one. In the next few videos that I'll be showing you, I'll be featuring a beautiful condominium that actually allows pets. I'm so excited for that. I really hope you'll stick around because it's one of those places where it's one of those situations where you find a hidden gem. There's a beautiful pool, there's a gym that's fully air conditioned, and they do allow pets. Unfortunately, this video is not about that, and I really hope you stick around with me. I'll be featuring that one very soon. So another interesting part about this management is that there is a Viber community, and I forgot to ask how many units there are in total, but because there are 3 very, very tall buildings that reach almost, I think, 40 plus 4 floors. That's a lot of units. You can imagine how many tenants there are per floor. So they have a Viber community, so if there's anything if there are any issues related to the building, the management, the admin or whatnot, you can send a Viber on that group. And I don't know how active the admin will be. Again, this is everything that I've seen visually. I haven't really experienced it, but it's there for you to consider. Is there a Viber community group? If you're on WhatsApp, is there a WhatsApp community group? Is there a Messenger? Just whatever social media platform you're on. It's good so that you get a sense of who your neighbors are as well, and things to avoid, things to look out for. If somebody's holding a yoga session and other tenants want to join, I think that could be a good thing, is to have that sense of community. I think it's really important if you decide to live anywhere. It's knowing who your neighbors are and what kind of community will you be having. So I did mention we are pretty high up. I think we're on the 37th floor. I noticed the stairway, which looked beautiful if you ask me, because if you like hiking, if you like exercising or just getting your cardio fix, hey, you could always challenge yourself to go to your unit from the ground floor all the way up to the 37th floor. And the lady who showed me around, she's actually a pilot, believe it or not. That's pretty amazing. And of course, if you have that kind of work, you do need to be fit. And so, yeah, we definitely had a like-minded moment right there. We both saw the stairway as potential for exercise. And because I was looking at a studio type unit, the admin mentioned that I'm only allowed to have 5 guests, but I do feel like there will be wiggle room here. You always just have to talk to the guards, talk to the admin, and let them know. She did mention if you have a bigger unit, like maybe a 2-bedroom or a 1-bedroom, they will allow more guests. So that's an interesting thing to keep track on, especially if you are a sociable type of person and you're wanting a lot of guests in your unit. Just make sure to ask how many people are allowed to visit you. And especially if you have a big family. Filipinos have a lot of families and relatives, and yeah, we move in groups, so we always like togetherness and we love food gatherings. And I think that's, for me, it's important to have all my family and friends present. There is actually a very beautiful function room. It can also serve as a meeting room, a study room. I did ask if you are able to use it. Apparently it's for rent, and the rental is about 4,000 Filipino peso. I do have to get the conversion rate in US dollars, but yeah, it's 4,000 Filipino peso for 5 hours, and any hour succeeding that is additional 500 pesos. So you decide if it's worth it or not. But for me, I saw how the table looked like and the view of it was fully closed with the curtains, but you can only imagine what it looks like from once the curtains are open. I think it's gonna have a very nice sunny view. I think holding meetings when there's a lot of exposure to the sunlight, for me, is very healthy. So I was a big fan of the meeting room or the function room. I did forget to mention there is also a place where you can do billiards, and they also have darts. And the lady who showed me mentioned that when they had first bought the place, that actually wasn't there. So again, it's really good to see progress when you go revisit the condo after a while and you see, oh, we have all these new features. I think that's really important as well, to note the progress, and if there are any improvements, that's a good sign. Oh, so I'm actually quite excited for this next part. I did do some research online, and what I've done is I've gotten the average price of per square meter, well, particularly here in Manila. Again, please note that depending where you are and depending on the circumstance of the lot or what you're looking at. Yeah, so this is what it looks like in Filipino peso. It's about 2,800 US dollars per square meter in the Philippines. Again, I'm just gonna put it all here. There you have it for Canada in US dollars, but I think it's important to note how much these places cost in your actual currency, right? So let's go straight there. Again, we are looking at a condominium that is particularly 25 square meters, and yeah, the average is about 3.8 million. What we're looking at is well over that, so it's good to just have an average. It's all here in your currency. I believe I've put Canada, the US. Thank you so much to all my viewers from the US of A. Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, Germany, Netherlands, Japan, Thailand. I've put it all here, so it's good for you to have a price comparison, and it's up to you to see if it's worth buying a condo here. Again, you know, we might, particularly in this area, Quezon City, we might not have as many parks as you probably might have, say, in Germany or in the Netherlands or in Japan. Again, you will weigh if it's worth buying, whether for personal or for investment. You know, it might be cheaper here, but you might be looking at the infrastructure. Are there pedestrian lanes? Is it safe for you to walk your kids in a stroller at night? Are you able to bring out expensive gadgets around? So you want to consider all the other external factors around the environment for you to consider if it's worth buying or not. A lot of the times I do feature places in the provinces like Visayas, Mindanao, because the beaches there are beautiful, just nature is abundant, it's peaceful. So what is luxury for you or what is worth buying for you will definitely differ from person to person. Your preferences will not be the same as other people's preferences, so there's gonna be a little something for everyone. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was helpful and useful. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to send a thanks. That would really mean so much to me. This is a very independent YouTube channel. Everything that I put into this video, my love, my time, my effort, it's of course wanting to serve you. If you think that it's gonna be useful for you, if you think it's entertaining, why not? If you could just send a thanks, I would really appreciate that. And for all my members, thank you as well for subscribing. I really appreciate it. If you want to connect with me personally, if you want a customized service, say you have specific requirements for a place that you're looking at, you can always send me a message on Instagram directly. Of course, for you to connect personally, you'll have to join the membership, which is just over here. And I would be more than excited. I would be so happy to connect with you and help you out further. Otherwise, again, thank you so much for watching. It's been great, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Love you all. Bye.